Let me know when you're seeing it.
Yeah, have it.
Cool. All right. Um, so you see the the vignette window.
Yeah, like your
Okay.
chest.
So there's a chest, and like, so I can have a thing that says, "Before you lies an ornate chest card with interesting cryptic runes. It appears to be locked," right? So,
Yeah.
and then they can hit continue. So like, I put that one option in there. Then I can do like, so I can name it over here. I could say chest unopened, and then I can create another one like this, and then I can, I want to get a picture off the internet. Um, I do this like. Gotta find it. The hardest part about making these vignettes is finding a decent picture to like display like as a focal piece, you know?
Yeah. What you looking for?
Something like that it shows dead bodies scattered around. It's harder than you think finding this stuff. This keeps coming up with
Yeah,
like weird options.
it's pretty specific too.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of pirate shit.
I don't know why this is funny though.
What you looking at?
It's just this picture. Ah shit, what the hell's somehow like started off a video. Alright, never mind. I don't want to get too distracted. This is a badass looking picture. Can't use it, but it's badass. Doesn't fit with what we're doing. Um, how would I just say corpses? This makes it very obvious it's a fucking mimic, though. You know, if I do these vignettes, they're gonna know exactly what's going on. You know.
Yeah, I mean you could just put it in the first description. Like before you lies an ornate chest, it appears to be locked, strewn all about it,
Mm-hmm.
like the corpses of several of the stick people.
I could just do it like that. Yeah, I think I. And then I'll use the second one for the thing attacking them. D&D fantasy. Or D&D mimic, and then I can have the mimic on the second thing jumping out at them. I like this picture because it's got a bit of a background to it. Save image. So you just go up here, right? So change picture, and you just browse your computer, and then there it is. Then you gotta click on it, selects it, and then you can do like some cropping here. Get rid of some of that white space if you want. It's good enough. So what I can do is several dead sprites surround the chest. It's good enough. Like, before you lies an ornate chest card with interesting cryptic runes, it appears to be locked. Several dead sprites surround the chest. So I could change this from continue to like examine the chest or examine the bodies.
Yeah, like if you want to put an emphasis on like on the image of them being dead, several sprites lie dead on the floor around it or something like that.
Yeah, lie dead. Yeah, change the verbiage. Lie dead on the floor. So there's no mistake in that they're dead. There's
Yeah,
nothing. Yeah.
surround is kind of
Yeah.
unspecific.
Yeah. That could mean, hey, are the sprites alive? Yeah. You're good
You
point. Good
have dead
point.
sprites here, but yeah.
Around the chest. Examine them. Dead sprites. Walk away. This looks evil, and I want no part of this.
Oh, valid option. I would
I
take out
always give them an option to walk away when I do these. Like,
yeah.
so like they can be like, yeah, let's not. But every idiot always says, click the chest. How about this? Walk
Um,
straight up to the chest and attempt to unlock it.
I would
There
take out
must be
first
loot.
dead after several in your text.
Say it again.
There's a repetition in your text.
Uh,
Several dead sprites lie dead around on the floor.
Several dead sprites lie dead on the floor around the chest.
Yeah, I think the first dead is unnecessary.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Several sprites lie. Yeah. See, if I didn't edit it, I wouldn't have done that. So that I make that mistake a lot when I go back and edit it. I change part of a sentence instead of starting the whole sentence over. Several sprites lie dead on the floor around the chest. Yeah. So
Yeah,
how does
happens.
that? How does this? How does this? So yeah, you even give them suggest investigation check. Um, so I could do that like that. Investigation check.
Yeah.
You know. And I'm just gonna make shit up. Like, okay, you know.
hmm
And then for the
And I don't
second
want to be
one,
a pain in your bum, but you have a lot of chests in your text, and I think you can leave some of them out.
in the first, in like the above text, before you
Um,
realize an chest crack.
Overall, like you have before you lies an ornate chest. Number one, that's necessary.
Yeah.
It appears to be locked. Several sprites lie dead on the floor around it. Might be the more elegant
Or on the
version.
ground around it. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then where was the other thing? Yeah, the last option that you're giving them.
Mhm.
Walk straight up to the chest and attempt to unlock it. There must be loot inside. And I think that chest at the end there is unnecessary as well.
Yeah, there's too many nouns in there. Yep. There must be loot inside it, inside that thing.
Yeah, I think you don't have to do anything after inside. The context is clear.
That's true. That's a good point. But that's the idea. So like, like you can have some options here, and then the chest attacks. Um, you attempt to approach the chest as you place your, well, as you reach out to touch it, suddenly it springs to life and attacks you. It's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, the mimic is a cool monster.
Yeah, definitely cool. It's very it breaks up the standard like thing, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those surprise encounters, which are a lot of fun.
I want to make one more vignette because I think people keep getting fucked up at this one point. So if I go back to game, so I'll just explain this part to you here. So if you're can you still see the stream?
Yeah, it's, yeah.
Couple seconds
Now it's fine.
behind.
Yeah, I just saw the map, and now you're back in the cave.
Yeah, you see these two creatures here.
They look like, they look weird.
Yeah, they
To
are
say
weird.
the least.
So they call them oil bosses. I should change their names actually for this campaign because that's what they're called in the actual game.
They kind of look like these African moles.
I'm just gonna call them
Yeah,
cave creepers or something,
that's nice.
so that there's less indication that like, oh, it spits oil, something like that. And then I'm actually gonna save that as so I have an exported version of that name. So there's this when they're this color. See how they're like that reddish color there. They're in a different state. So see how I have this option when I right click. It says activate, and I'll show you. So that's what they actually look like. They're like this green color here, greenish black color. So the idea is they don't see them here. So like when they approach this treasure pile, they don't see these two things sitting here.
All right.
These things are up on the ceiling, and when they get near the loot, these things drop from the ceiling and attack them. So, but the idea
Okay.
is here that there's all this oil on the ground, right? Like right here, and you know they're going to see it all, like when they get to it. Um, you know, they can have all this oil like here as a warning, sort of thing, like why is there this oil here? Why does it look like that? You know, and then I can have a vignette here where it says you begin approaching this huge pile of treasure. So what they've been doing is they've been rushing up straight down in the treasure. I have to pause it, activate the mobs because they didn't like check their six. You know, I didn't. But
Mhm.
I think I need a vignette here to give them pause to be like, hey, something looks really odd here as well. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
And those little flags are your triggers for the vignettes, are
they're
they?
not triggers; they're notes. So like it's a
Okay.
note to me as the DM to be like, okay, I got to read this, or if someone else DMs. So this thing has a note on it. The oil demons. Um,
Mhm.
the boss will attack if the players reach this point. I got to change that wording. If they get low enough on the slope, doesn't make sense. On the path. Yeah, all this really has to be changed because I'm sort of changing the dynamic of it, but so anyway, I'm gonna do a vignette here instead. So let's do a new vignette, and I'm gonna have new image here. I want a pile of treasure. It's basically the same trope twice, but they didn't learn their lesson from the mimic. Then I don't know. You know, get a good picture. Pile of treasure.
Yeah, and it does make sense too. Like I like the idea that this whole ecosystem in the dungeon revolves around there being treasure and
Mhm.
people coming in for it, and that's how the things that live there get their food.
Exactly.
So it's not repetitive; it's a theme.
It's a theme, yeah. Yeah, we could call it a theme. Um, okay. It's gonna have them be like,
You might want to replace the first cave or the second one, so you don't
hmm.
have the same word two times.
Yeah,
Trying to think of an option.
towards the back
Um,
of the cave, you can see the gleam of golden light.
as you make your
Slimy
way
surface
towards,
sounds.
yeah,
So what
or
I
you
also
you
have to
replace
do,
the first one with tunnel or something like that. As you make your way towards the end of the tunnel, you can see a gleam of golden light. A large pile of treasure awaits you at the bottom. Hmm.
that works.
Yeah.
Um,
This is amazing.
I knew this adventure would make.
But yeah, you're kind of giving them a hint that this is the foolish option.
I think it doesn't cut off. That's good enough. I could have it like that. I'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll have to come back and re-edit it.
Yeah, looks good so far, though.
So yeah, the idea is if they get down here, they see the oily surface. Um, you get all these sound options in the game too. You can play music, you can play sound effects, everything.
Cool. Yeah, that's one thing I really miss in TTS.
Yeah.
Don't know if they have like updated their in-game sound, but
No. Pretty much
they've done
no.
something with voice chat though, haven't they?
I don't know.
I don't think it'll beat Discord.